Welcome to I'm Your Target Demographic. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 must-see movies that you need to see that are based on a true story. So if you haven't seen my other videos, I've already covered 5 indie movies you need to see and then 5 fantasy movies you need to see. So next up, based on a true story. Before I get into the 5, we do have some honorable mentions, movies that are still spectacular that I just want to put out there. So there are a lot of war movies that are based on real wars, and one of the best is Saving Private Ryan. So incredible movie, some great talent that really were kind of before their time. You know, almost all those people blew up and are famous now. So Saving Private Ryan is a definite one to check out. Zodiac, which is a David Fincher movie, which is one of my favorite directors. Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Jake Gyllenhaal, some incredible talent. Zodiac is a super cool movie. And our last honorable mention is Finding Neverland, which is one of Johnny Depp's probably best movies because it's not so ridiculous that, you know, it's understated but really touching. Kind of the debut of Freddie Highmore, who's still making a name for himself, but as a child actor really just blew me away. So now let's dive into the 5 that I really want to focus on. 5 based on a true story movies that you need to see. Number 1, The Wolf of Wall Street. This was my number 2 movie of 2013. Really just incredible. It's kind of a long movie, but it's definitely worth it to kind of go through that journey. It is streaming on Netflix, so as of now, when this video comes out, you should give it a chance there. Leonardo DiCaprio, he has a tendency to do a lot of based on a true story movies. I mean, Aviator, Catch Me If You Can, Titanic. But Wolf of Wall Street is one of my favorites. So you should give it a chance if you haven't seen it. Again, it's a little long, but if you can get through it, it's a really funny and crazy movie when you think about that it's a true story. Next up, we have the recent movie Selma, which focuses on Martin Luther King Jr. After kind of his I Have a Dream speech and after he's gotten the Nobel Peace Prize. He's now focusing on actually making change kind of based on legislation that went into effect. So African Americans are now allowed to vote, but there's still places where they're not letting them. So there's kind of this showdown in the city of Selma where everyone kind of comes together to fight for the right to vote. So it's really cool to see not a biopic that's kind of their whole life, which can sometimes be unfocused, but just kind of a slice of that story. It's fascinating, incredible acting. It is a shame that David Oyelowo was not nominated for Best Actor, because he was hands down the best part of that movie, and without him it probably wouldn't be getting nearly the attention that it is. So Selma, if you're watching this now and it's still in theaters, go watch it, or find it on DVD, etc. It's one that you need to watch. Number 3, The Social Network. Another David Fincher movie. He just has such a style, and I remember seeing Social Network for the first time, and there's that scene that kind of, it starts off with Jesse Eisenberg in a bar talking to a woman, and just, it looks incredible, and the dialogue written by Aaron Sorkin is fantastic. And Jesse Eisenberg just pulls it off completely. That you can tell he's a genius, but socially he has no understanding of social cues. It's just a great performances. It looks great, just perfect package. It was the breakout film for Andrew Garfield, who kind of got roles like Spider-Man, things like that after this movie. And then there's Armie Hammer, who played both of the Winklevoss twins. And I swear, I saw this movie I think 3 times in theaters, and I did not realize that it wasn't actually twins. That just blew my mind. That was an incredible performance, beautifully edited, unobtrusive, the way that it should have been done. Just overall, this is a great movie, and if it somehow slipped past your radar, it's worth checking out. The 4th movie, Moneyball. Brad Pitt stars as the manager for the Oakland A's in a time when the Oakland A's weren't doing so hot. So he takes on Jonah Hill's character, who is kind of a statistician, and figures out a new way to play the game. And it's just a really fun movie. but it also makes baseball really interesting to people that maybe don't watch or know a lot about baseball, myself included. So the fact that it could take something that I know nothing about but make me completely invested and completely interested in it is saying a lot. So super fascinating, Moneyball. And my fifth movie that I want to make sure that you go out and check out is another recent film, The Theory of Everything. And I have been talking about this movie every day since I've seen it. That I don't think people realize how awesome it is. That it's the story of Stephen Hawking. Okay? But it takes his science and it makes it understandable, so it kind of breaks it down to layman's terms. But there's also this whole other story about Stephen Hawking and his personal life and his marriage and kind of the disorder that he's struggling with, and it's this fascinating story. And Eddie Redmayne as Stephen Hawking is absolutely incredible. And I'm not shocked at all that he's already won a couple awards for Best Actor this year, and hopefully he takes the Academy Award for it. That it is just a incredible performance, and you see zero of Eddie Redmayne on that screen. That it is completely and utterly Stephen Hawking. So it's a great film, shot beautifully, but really it's the performances both by Eddie Redmayne and Felicity Jones as his wife that really just blew me away. So again, if you're watching this when it comes out and Theory of Everything is still in theaters, go see it and you'll be thankful you did. So those are 5 movies, with a few honorable mentions, that I think you should see that are based on true stories. There are a lot of movies that are based on true stories. To figure this out, I looked up kind of the Wikipedia list of every movie that's based on a true story, and it was overwhelming. There's so many good movies, biographies, kind of incidents, people, time periods, all sort of stuff that is based on true stories, and there's a lot to choose from. So out of all those, what are your favorites? What are those movies that are based on real people, real events that you loved? So sound off in the comments, tell me. There's a lot that I hadn't seen, so tell me if there's movies that I should check out. And if you disagree with me on some of these ones that are on my list, let me know that too. If you didn't like Theory of Everything, things like that. And make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff. I also have a brand new Facebook page that I would love if you went over and subscribe to. So you can head over to facebook.com/IAYTD. So I'm your target demographic. Head over there, and I'm going to update you with my written reviews as I'm seeing new movies, as well as video content, statuses, discussions, all that stuff is going to be happening over at Facebook. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.